Hey guys. Hey. Okay. I'm going to talk to you. Sorry. I was like squirrel. Lost. That's why, when I always start something, I tell y'all I can't look at the comments. Mom's talking in the background. Do you hear her? And so maybe you don't hear it. That'd be great. So I'm like, I can't even do that, much less look in the comments while we're actually live. So that's why I always go back in. So today I'm talking about one of my favorite sets of products. I love me a good brow. Now, y'all ever just get completely frustrated because one of your brows does not match the other one? Well, someone that is medical told me, Pam, our faces are not symmetrical. They're asymmetrical, which makes sense because when I got my ears pierced originally when I was little, like, it's one of them's lower. Well, it's because my ear's lower. It's like, okay, we're all deformed in a good way, like because we're perfectly and wonderfully made, right? So if brows are, I love brows. I love all things brows. Like if you get your brows tinted at your esthetician, that's super cool. And if you've never done that, I do it at home with the men's. Have y'all already talked about this before? I talked about this, but in case you're new, Riley hooked me up with this. It's the men's mustache dye, and you get lighter. Like I get the blonde, even though I'm not a natural blonde, just in case you don't know. Whoops. Woo. There goes. If you're new, not new here, if you're new here, it's a deal to see how long I can take from touching my hair when we're live, because I'm like looking at myself, not y'all. So it's the men's mustache dye, and I get the blonde. So you want to go at least a shade, probably 2 or 3 shades lighter than your natural. And my brows are pretty dark, they're because my natural hair color. The reason I started adding blonde is because my natural hair color is almost black. And as I got more gray, I know it was premature gray. If you try to dye black hair black, it sometimes will look blue if the wrong person does it, So I just kept adding more blonde, and then it was easier to do because it was thicker and dirtier, as Chatney would say, not truly dirty, but you know what I mean. So we're going to talk about brows today. So you can tint your brows at home. The thing that I would tell you if you're going to do that is to make sure that right all around the brow, you put like extra emollient night cream or Aquaphor or something like that to keep the brow color from getting on your skin. Or you can go treat yourself and have an esthetician do it. It's very inexpensive, and then she can shape up your brows for you. I do not have, probably won't have, I'm not going to say never, I never say I don't have microbladed or anything like that done. I really love brows. I don't mind filling them in. And you can get a serum. We used to have a serum, but you can buy a serum that adds fullness, like helps the hair growth, just like it will lashes. And so I don't know. It would take a lot to convince me to add that maintenance to my life. So we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about this spoolie brush, which I love. We're going to talk about a cream brush for like concealers or cream shadow. We're going to talk about the Precision Brow Liner, which is your friend. And we're going to talk about the tinted brow gel, like the brow tint. It's volumizing. It has a little bit of fibers. Don't be afraid of the fibers. It's not the kind of fibers that fleck off, like literally have never had them fleck off. So I already did my brows, which probably wasn't smart because I could have done them. Well, I will tell you that a tip that Crystal Coleman gave me that is amazing is she said, she saw it somewhere like on TikTok or somewhere, or one of her friends. She said, start with your non-dominant hand. So I start with I don't know how it's viewing in the live, but I start with my left, and then I fill that in, and I do short feather-like strokes about the length of an eyebrow hair and fill that in. And then it's easier to match this one. If you start with your dominant and you get it perfect, I tended to just keep adding more and more. So look at that precision tip. And then it goes up. Now we'll tell you, you want to buy 2 when you buy them, because it's kind of like eye pencils and lip pencils. Like when it's gone, it's gone. So buy 2 to get started with. And then as you use one up, buy another one. That way you always have a spare. Like if your brows are as important to you as, I'll post that funny picture of Brows Matter. It's Anne Hathaway, I think. And they got her brows like blanked out with makeup. And it's like, So that's your precision brow liner. Again, go lighter. This is dark blonde. You don't have to go as light as you would like the dye, but there are very few people that would use the black or the dark brunette unless they are like dark hair, dark brows, dark everything. But this is the dark blonde, and so you're just doing short feather-like strokes about the length of an eyebrow hair, barely touching the skin, mostly coloring the hairs, but obviously you'll have to be on the skin. So I went backwards. Before I do that, I brush my eyebrows backwards, and then I brush them back up. I love this brush. Oh my goodness. I've talked to you a lot about add-on brushes to your original set, like get your essential brush collection and then add on. This brush is definitely an add-on. The other end of it is a stiff brush that you can use for y'all, sorry about the party going on in the background. You can use for like liner. I always put a deeper product right there. You can put a little finishing spray and then put product right there. You can use it if you like a powder brow. You can put it in like hazelnut or espresso if you have darker brows, and you can fill in your brow. I told them we are having a party back there and I'm live. This right here, and then brush that up. So if you like a powder brow, you can do that with shadow. And our shadows are Chroma Fusion. They have almost zero fallout. Hey, could you answer that in the other room? They have almost zero fallout. Craziness in my house. I'm keeping it real, y'all. Almost zero fallout. And so you can do your brows with them easily. Now, let me show you about this. After I get that brow done, I like to, okay, got my little palette going on here. I like to take the cream brush. This right here is made for cream products. I have two. I have one for my concealers and things like that for my face, and then one for cream shadows. Love the texture of this brush, and it's flat. Look at that. It's a little tapered and then super flat. So I'm going to take a little bit of concealer, and then I always like clean up the edge. Like that. You can blend it with your sponge or your makeup, sponge or whatever. But I do it underneath too. And I'm not going to do it because I already have my shadow. I do it underneath to clean up the line too. And it just gives you a really sharp line. It's one of my favorite youthful tips. So you just take a little concealer, put it on there. You saw how little, and then clean the edge up like that. And you're good to go. So that's the cream. That's an add-on brush to your collection too. Then now there's a key to this. This is our volumizing brow tint. Okay, see, I just pulled it out like that, but it's got so much product on it. You always want to wipe. I have not done this on my brows yet, so I'm going to attempt to do it on camera. I filmed this in the morning, by the way, because I thought, well, I can't really film my brows in the evening. So you're going to barely touch the hairs. It like lifts them up, gives them that little wispy. Okay. Now see how that's a little bit more defined than this one, especially like, and it stays. This product does not come off. It like stays. It's amazing. So look at there. Okay. So that's the volumizing brow tint. The key is like wipe that excess off because you'll get way too much. And that's your brows. So you've got your spoolie brush with your other end. Sorry, y'all, brow time. I'm a hot mess today. This concealer, the precision brow liner, your volumizing brow tint, and then one of our concealers. I use the one that I use here is the one I use to clean that up. So it's a little bit lighter than my skin tone. There you go. That's how you can have a perfect brow. Now, if you're wondering about the shape, I will tell you one more tip. You can take a pencil and put it right by your nose, and you want your brow to end right there. And you take it and slant it, and you want the end of your brow to go right at the corner of your eye there. And then if you have an arch, some people just have just a rounded edge, but if you have an arch, it should be at the edge to the middle of your iris. See how mine is? Right there. There you go. Awesome. Put your questions in the comments and we'll be good to go. Thank you, guys.